The US has launched another round of strikes on Iran in what Donald Trump called retribution for bombing ships in the Strait of Hormuz. With both sides calling off the ceasefire, Donald Trump now seems trapped in a war he started.
At Iranian military sites along the Strait of Hormuz, US strikes designed to crush Tehran's ability to cripple the global economy. An even bigger assault than yesterday. Donald Trump making good on a threat delivered at the NATO summit.
Hit him very hard last night. Very, very hard. Probably hit him hard again tonight. I'll give him a little warning. We're going to hit him hard tonight.
Declaring an end to the ceasefire after Iran struck 3 vessels this week.
To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. You know what scum is? They're scum. They're sick people. 20 US warships now patrol nearby waters. Tehran responding to the show of force, launching its own retaliatory strikes. From the top negotiator, the Strait of Hormuz will only open with Iranian arrangements, not American threats. If you strike, you'll get hit. I'm number one on the kill list for Iran. They're lovely people. I like being number one on TikTok better, but I'm number one on the list for killing.
Donald Trump was scathing of NATO coming into this summit, but he's emerged saying the alliance is more united than ever. That claim will be put to test in this reignited war. His strikes have so far failed to dent the resolve of the Iranian regime and its supporters. The funeral for their former supreme leader turning his death on day one of this conflict into a source of strength.
Let's go live to Ben Downey, who's in Ankara. Ben, Trump unexpectedly switched planes before leaving the NATO summit.
Yeah, Max, he did. The US president arrived here on the new Air Force One, a jet gifted to him by Qatar, but then in a last-minute switch departed the summit on the old plane, sparking furious speculation that this new jet might pose a security risk, potentially not safe enough, with concerns about a threat from Iran. Then the party actually departed the UK on the new plane. Since those flights and the overnight bombardment, Donald Trump says Tehran has reached out to him to negotiate a way out of further strikes. But the die may already have been cast, with reports the Pentagon is preparing for days and potentially weeks more conflict. Max?
Ben Downey in Turkey. Ipswich sprint sensation Gout Gout has suffered a devastating blow. He's torn a hamstring, ending his bid for glory at the World Under-20 Championships. Gout won't return to racing until next year.
His breathtaking speed in the 200 metres shattered records.
That is the fastest 200-metre runner in Australian history. Believe the hype.
The sprint superstar was counting down to next month's Under-20 World Championships, ready to prove he belonged among the world's best.
You've given us all something to remember forever. Look after yourself.
Of course you do.
You're precious. And I just want to show the world that I am Gout and I'm here to stay.
Tonight, his dreams are on hold. Confirming on Instagram, he pulled his left hamstring last night while training in Brisbane.
These injuries are very common for elite sprinters. I had my first hamstring tear probably around the same age as Gout is now.
Athletics Australia is wrapping their support around its brightest star, saying injuries are part of the sport and it's important that he takes the time to rehabilitate, recover and return to the track. Pearson knows exactly what he's facing.
His hamstring is 10% into the tendon, which is his attachment from his glute into his hamstring. So that is going to take a bit of extra time.
6 to 12 weeks, but he's young.
I'm just a boy right now, but once I start growing into my body's getting quite stronger, I know that those times will drop and I'm going to be fast.
He's got the World Championships next year, then he'll be going into the LA Olympics in 2028. So really, this is probably, if you're going to get an injury, this is probably the right time.
For one of Australia's brightest young stars, the race against the clock has been replaced by the road to recovery. Steve Titmus, 7 News.
We have disturbing new details tonight of a teenager's alleged plot to commit mass murder at a Maryborough school. Court documents claim he asked AI to write a Bondi-style shooting story while he penned his own manifesto.
Albert State School, a place of learning and safety for children, to an allegedly troubled teen an easy target for mass murder. Court documents show the 13-year-old allegedly told police he wanted to kill people for months and experiences an adrenaline rush from watching people fear death and killings connected to ideologies. Inspired by a Russian school stabber and school shootings, he recorded a video of the Christchurch massacre, claims of obsessions with Nazi and racist beliefs. In the months leading up, he asked AI,
"Make me a mass shooting story, 18 plus, kinda like the Bondi Beach shooting, but it's in Queensland."
He was arrested by police in May after threatening to stab a service station worker with a knife. Days later, his home was raided by counter-terrorism detectives who say they uncovered the darker plot. On April 1, he made a note titled The Albert Massacre, the next month allegedly creating an electronic manifesto.
"I have this feeling to commit a big attack on kids. I want to hear them cry and beg me for their life. I'll probably kill the teachers."
The boy's defence barrister argued they were just dark thoughts. A magistrate originally refused bail, a decision the Supreme Court agrees with. The teen to stay behind bars for now. Garth Burley, 7 News.
Brisbane's Centenary Pool will close to the public next month to make way for work on the 2032 Olympics and Paralympics. The heritage-listed facility will be preserved as part of plans for the National Aquatic Centre, which will be developed in Spring Hill, across from the main stadium in Victoria Park. Swimmers will be able to take a dip until August 30 before the Games Delivery Authority takes over on September 1.
Pauline Hanson has received a glowing endorsement from a controversial UK podcaster. Far-right figure Tommy Robinson described the One Nation leader as one of the bravest ladies on the planet in an apparent teaser for an interview. Hanson is on a fortnight-long political tour of the UK. It was another podcast interview with Robinson that ended Carl Stefanovic's time as Today Show host and his long-running career with Channel 9. Indian Prime Minister is receiving a rock star reception in Melbourne, with supporters travelling from across the country to see him. Narendra Modi is here to buy our uranium, but not everyone's interested in rolling out the red carpet.
A tarmac welcome for Narendra Modi, India's Prime Minister, greeted by a federal one, then a Premier, with an 18-second handshake. PM with PM had to wait until AM. A business breakfast at the Sofitel where compliments were main course.
You are the living bridge between our nations.
This is Modi's third Australian visit, the most of any Indian leader. This time he wants our uranium, striking a deal for billions of dollars of the radioactive element to fuel India's growing power demands.
And give our clean energy objectives fresh momentum.
Providing an additional market for the Australian resources sector.
Australian Super will invest $500 million in India's investment and infrastructure fund.
The relationship has gone beyond culture and cricket and commerce to actual business and collaboration between the two countries.
Modi, go back! No uranium for you!
Protests followed Modi around Melbourne.
The Indians will misuse it against the minorities in India.
About 1 million Indian-born people live in Australia. Going by their signs, this group doesn't like that. Turns out that slogan is popular.